Season 40, war number 12, the final war of the season, and this time my team will be Tigra, Valkyrie and Omega Sentinel. At this point in the season we have second place locked in, so the result of this war doesn't matter, but I still don't want to lose my streak, so I will be trying my best. I'm taking Path 1 in Section 1 as well as that Surfer, Path 1 in Section 2 as well as that Vision Aarkus on the buffet node, and then I'm taking Bishop and Mole Man mini-bosses. Only got a few fights this war, but it has been a pretty busy season already, so I'm not complaining. Not gonna be my record by any means, but still well above 100 fights, and as long as I don't die here, I will be deathless this season once again. Up first we have an Immortal Hulk on the personal space regeneration node, and I'm taking this fight with Omega Sentinel, starting with the heal block debuff mode active. Game plan here is to simply shut down the healing with the heal block debuffs and then just take him down by any means necessary. I can just do basic attacks, spam specials, it doesn't matter, he's going down anyways. The only real problem with him on this node is his immunity to regenerate reduction, meaning that the only way to reduce his healing is by preventing the buffs from triggering, by neutralize or ability accuracy reduction, by nullifying the buffs, or simply just heal blocking him. Heal blocking is the simplest option here. Now he is pretty tanky, so this is gonna take a little bit to take this guy down, but since he really doesn't have any other defensive abilities that would make him a problem, it's a very simple and very easy fight, and there really isn't much else to say about this. As for his immortality, it can only trigger if he has 15 or more gamma when he is knocked out, and since he doesn't gain any gamma from taking DOT damage or burst damage, he doesn't get enough gamma to trigger the immortality, meaning that he just dropped dead without even trying to put up a fight. Next up we have a Man-Thing on the Masochism Overtime node, and I was gonna use Omega Sentinel here with the heal block debuff mode, but then I just figured at the last second here, why not just use Tigra, since Neutralize shuts down the Masochism Overtime regen, as well as the buffs that Man-Thing would trigger on you, meaning that poison will not be an issue, MD won't be an issue, and this Man-Thing is gonna go down pretty quickly due to Tigra's massive damage output. Now just to note here, I did use Omega Sentinel's pre-fight here, and more on that a little bit later. So the game plan here is to start the fight by doing some basic attacks until I get to my special 2, drop it to corner Man-Thing, and then I can just go for the heavy spam like normal. I'm gonna be baiting special 1s, punishing them with my heavy attack, and then just spamming special 2s whenever I get it, and rinse and repeat. Man-Thing goes down very quickly in just about 30 seconds. No issues there, and it was a lot faster than Omega Sentinel would have been. Now Omega Sentinel would have still worked just fine, but I would say that that was the right call. And then we have a Silver Surfer on Masochism Overtime and Strike Counter Fury node, and I'm taking this fight with Tigra. The game plan here is the same as it was against that Man-Thing. I'm just gonna do some basic attacks to get to my first special 2. I'm gonna drop it to get Surfer in the corner, and after that it's just gonna be baiting special 1s, punishing it with my heavy attack, getting to my special 2s and just nuking him down. Once again it's gonna be a very quick fight, and there really isn't any risk in dying here, unless for some reason Surfer gets his armor up buff at the start. But as long as you bait a heavy attack first thing in the fight, he will not be able to do that, and the fight becomes very easy. The main issue with the armor up would be the spaced armor node there, causing me to get special locked when making contact with him. So just to avoid that, just make sure that you don't let him get an armor up buff. Then we have a Vision Aarkus on the buffet overtime node, and I'm taking this fight with Tigra. And game plan here is to start the fight by baiting a heavy attack, punishing it with my heavy, and I should do that twice to get to my first special 2, and then just nuking him down. But I tried to go for a heavy intercept here midfield for no reason, and I was too slow on it, got hit, but that was enough power to get me to my special 2. And that special 2 just completely destroyed him. It was a 14-second fight, and well, other than taking a few hits there, it was a very clean one as well. Definitely should have just baited another heavy attack instead of trying to go for a heavy intercept, but it worked out. And then we have a Wong on the Never Back Down node, and I'm taking it with Valkyrie. I have taken this fight before. It's not really the greatest matchup, since I have no way to actually shut down the regeneration from Never Back Down, but Valkyrie's ability to completely bypass Unstoppable makes her a great option against Wong in general. Now the game plan here is to avoid dexing too much, so that he doesn't constantly get the regeneration, and then the plan would be to only bait the special 2s, because his special 1 triggers his spells. And his spells are what makes him, well, even more annoying. Now, as for the regen, the way for me to deal with it here is to avoid dexing too much, so that he simply doesn't trigger it, and then I just need to rely on Valkyrie's damage output to outspeed it. The special 2 into the block put him down to 50%, so just looking at that I know that I should be fine, as long as nothing doesn't go wrong here and I don't start eating hits or specials or anything like that. It's almost down. I go for a few more block hits with a special finish into the block, and down he goes in just under a minute. But I did make a mistake here that I didn't realize at first. I finished him off while he had over a bar of power, so Valkyrie got the crossfight, and that's gonna come into play a little bit later as well. Now then, we have a Domino on the buffet over time node, and I'm taking this fight with Omega Sentinel. And well, today I learned that if you use Omega Sentinel's pre-fight on a fight that she doesn't take, she can't use the pre-fight again until she has done a fight by herself. So I tried to use the heal block pre-fight here for this fight, but I couldn't trigger it because I had already placed it on Man-Thing earlier. Now for this fight it doesn't really matter, because I don't need the heal block at all. Since Omega Sentinel is immune to Nullify, buffet can never trigger in the first place. The only real reason I would like the heal block debuff to be the one that I'm using is willpower healing. But since that doesn't really make too much of a difference, I don't need it. Here it's about to fall off, and I'm not even gonna bother placing it back again. I got the plasma debuffs, all I need to do is just keep them up for a little bit, and they will take care of Domino's remaining HP. The fight has gone on for about a minute, and down she goes. Omega Sentinel is just one of the best options for Domino. She was basically built to counter her after all. Being immune to ability accuracy reduction against mutants, and having no chance-based abilities at all, she doesn't take crit fail damage ever with her base abilities alone. If you do have some chance-based masteries, that's another story though. Next up we have a Bishop on the Safeguard miniboss node, and I'm taking this fight with Tigra. And while Bishop is pretty simple to fight with Tigra, it is pretty risky as well, because he can sometimes throw a random special 1 into your block, and if that does happen, you will take a bunch of incinerate damage, whether you like it or not. Now the game plan here is to use an advanced power boost to start with a bar of power, then bait and punish 2 heavy attacks with your own heavy to get your special 2 with some rupture debuffs up, and then just drop the special 2, nuke him down, and that's about it. And this guy here takes 2 special 2s to finish, but it is a 30-second fight, he doesn't get to use a single special of his own, And yep, that went pretty much perfectly. It takes some block damage, but that's fine. It was Tigra's last fight anyways, so it doesn't really matter. Doesn't cost me anything. And now for the final fight of this war and the whole season. A Mole Man on the Hazard Shift mini-boss node, and I'm taking it with Valkyrie. And the plan was to only hit into his block, get that first Pierce buff up, and then just ignore the Unstoppable, keep hitting into his block to take him down. But the crossfight from Wong made that plan a little bit scarier, because he started with a burst of power, which got him to his special 1. If he threw that special 1, I could have been in a little bit of trouble, since it does give him some monster mass, making him unstoppable if you hit into his block. Now, however, I already got the Pierce effect here to start with before he got to use the special 1, so the fight is on lockdown. Now all I need to do is just hit into his block until he drops, and that's about it. I did still have the advanced power boost from the earlier fight against Bishop, and that just got me to my special 2 a lot faster than normal, which helps speed things up a bit. I did go for the combo inversion there to get a bulwark buff as well, to make me immune to stun debuffs, so I don't have to worry about getting parried by accident. And it also increases the damage on the special 2 as well, since the Fury scales with all the bulwark and pierce you have. So even just getting one bulwark does help speed things up a little bit. Not that I really need to worry about that, since this war is lost anyways, and the result doesn't matter overall for our placement. Now I just need to hit his block a few more times. I could have gone for the special 1 into the block there, but I didn't want to risk it not finishing him off, because he was under 5 monster mass, making him ignore evade. So if the special 1 didn't finish him off, the evade safety net on the special 1 would not have saved me from getting comboed. So I just played it safe. As for the results, we did end up losing the war 3-7. We already knew we were locked in second place, so not everyone tried their best, and it really did show here. We had some stupid deaths, but it doesn't matter. We still finished second, and as for my season stats, I ended up finishing with 111 attacker kills, including 8 boss solos. 0 deaths, so another deathless season for me, which is great, hoping I can keep the streak going, but we'll see about that. And the point of editing this video, season 41 has already gone 3 wars in, so I do have to work on those videos quite quickly so that I don't get backed up once again. Though now that I say that, I wouldn't be surprised if that does happen again. It would be par for the course by now. But I do hope to see you all again for the next season's war videos.